Hi, this is Shauna for the Iron Shauna Project, where we're cooking well using only ingredients on hand. Can you see Oscar? There. Right there, that's my little Oscar. I don't know what he's doing. He's meditating out the window, I guess. Anyway. So I recently asked on Twitter what people have on hand most often, and one of the answers was bread and bananas. And I have to say, bananas less so for me. Bread is definitely something that is very frequently available to me, and I am often concerned about it going bad before I have consumed it all. So one of the ideas that I came up with is sort of a roundabout idea. I happened to have some bread on hand that I wanted to use and had been craving some spinach dip. However, I'm not a fan of a lot of the chemicals and the fact that the spinach is not as fresh in dips that you can buy at the store. So I happen to have some kale here, and I thought, well, what if I used kale instead of spinach? Especially since this year it's been kind of rough on spinach crops, I guess. You know, that whole global warming thing. So what I did was look up a creamy spinach dip, and I'm just going to sub out kale. And I am still, in my true Iron Shauna fashion, going to do the recipe slightly different, just on my own terms, based on what I have on hand. So the first ingredient, of course, is spinach. I showed you the kale that I have. I don't have any fresh garlic anymore, but if you remember a previous episode, I made some garlic powder, and the nutritional value of the powder is the same as fresh garlic, so I'm going to go ahead and use my powder, some of my powder. And I don't have any lemon zest. We're just going to see how it tastes without that. The next thing is Parmesan. I also don't have any cheese. That's something that I rarely have on hand, in fact. So, but I've been doing just fine without it. I think that this dish, or this dip, will be fine without the cheese. So calls for some sour cream. I don't know if you can, that's kind of bright. Can you see it? I follow Daily Grace, and she's fallen into a habit of saying that, the holding something up really close to the screen and saying, can you see it? Can you see it? I think it was based on some haul video a kid made about candles. YouTube culture, I tell ya. So the next thing is mayonnaise, and here's another way I'm going to diverge from the recipe. I'm actually going to make my own mayonnaise, since I don't tend to buy it and it doesn't tend to be available at my food bank. So what I'm going to make my mayonnaise out of is oil. I don't know if I can, I'm not going to tip it and show you. That would be fun, wouldn't it? And mustard powder. And actually I'll end up putting some of the garlic powder in here as well. And I happen to have a liquid form of egg. A quarter cup of this is equivalent to 1 egg. And you're supposed to have lemon. We'll see how well my mayo works out without the lemon this time, because I don't actually have that on hand. That one I truly will miss, I think, the actual lemon juice, because I think it helps with the mayo process. But we're going to blend that up, and then it calls for cayenne pepper. I actually don't have cayenne, but I do have an ancho chili pepper, which I think will be just as good. So there you have it, all the ingredients that I'm going to put in this spinach dip. Let's get going. actually. Now that I've mixed everything together in the bowl, I'm just going to put it in the fridge. Since I didn't really do that with the mayo, the homemade mayo, you put it in the fridge to let it congeal a little bit. It actually does something to the flavor and the texture, believe it or not. So I'm going to let that do that all together in this dip in the fridge. And then when I'm ready, I will toast some flatbread because that's what I have left in my bread forms right now, and it's going to be yum. Try it yourself. Let me know what you think. What are your variations? I look forward to hearing. See you next time. Cords, cords everywhere, cords. Lights! Wait. There we go. Better.